when we talk about legacy and all that jazz, we're talking about the ECWA, and obviously having the ECWA champion and a man of this great caliber joining us right now, the ECWA heavyweight champion, and he is going to be participating in this year's Super 8 tournament. Going to try and become a two-time. Look at this guy, he's smiling ear to ear. So happy to have him on, Mr. Darius Carter. How you doing, sir?
I'm great. I'm beautiful. I'm lovely. I'm divine. I'm exquisite. I'm the ECWA heavyweight champion, and I'm about to make history. Why would I not be smiling? Why would I not be gleeful, joyous, exuberant? Because I'm about to have the greatest day of my life. I thought winning the Super 8 was the greatest day of my life. Winning it again, I can't wait. I can't wait.
You do realize you'd truly be making history. Nobody has ever gone in with the title and won the tournament before. Papa Don came close, but Papa Don's no Darius Carter.
You have to think about this, and we have to, and I say this ad nauseum to make sure people truly remember the Super 8, the legacy of the tournament, not just the people that have partaken in the tournament, but the people that have won the tournament, the likes of Xavier Woods, who we're seeing every Monday. I mean, we have to think about this. Tommaso Ciampa. We're talking about Christopher Daniels, 2 times Christopher Daniels. Some of the biggest stars of professional wrestling that have paved the way for others. They're so established that people emulate them today. And these are Super 8 winners. So to have my name among that list, not just once, but twice, and to do it in a shorter span of time than Christopher Daniels, to beat him by 2 years, because he won it in 2000 and then in 2004. For me to do it 2022, 2024, that's 2 years, and I'll have beaten him in doing so. And I'll be the person that has gone in as champion and left as champion. Now, Papa Don did that. He gets his credit in 2012. He did go in as champion. However, he did not defend the championship. He went in as champion and wrestled singles matches. By all means, I'm putting everything on the line. I'm rolling the dice because I'm betting on myself, as I've bet on myself my entire professional wrestling career. It has paid dividends. It is a beautiful life that I live. It is great to be Darius Carter. It's greater than great. I have my trials, tribulations, things that I have to overcome, but leaders must overcome obstacles. Look what I'm doing for ECWA. Putting them, they're on the map, but elevating them, putting them on a new pedestal. People saying, oh, ECWA, what's going on over there? What's that about?
Yeah. It's
Darius
interesting.
Carter wrestled Mr. Ooh La La? Where? Only one place, and that's ECWA.
And there are a lot of great, I think, matchups that are going to come down the line as you continue to defend this belt. But there's no reluctance whatsoever to put the title on the line in this tournament?
There can't be, because for me, if I'm going in as champion and I want to make history, as I said, as I told that audience, that live audience, you were there. I told everyone in attendance, everyone watching, that I was going to make history every time you saw me as ECWA champion. Because that's what you have to do. How do you make yourself different? When you win a championship, are you just going to carry it? You're just going to put it in your bag and you're going to take it out every month or two when it's time to defend it? Or are you going to shine that thing up? Are you going to make sure the world knows that you have it? And are you going to elevate that brand and those letters every single time that you can? And that's what I do. Winning that Super 8 being such a moment in my career, at the time, the biggest moment of my career, I'm here to do that again. I'm here to make a statement. No questions asked. I don't want to go in as champion, win the Super 8, and people wonder, oh, why didn't he put his title on the line? Why didn't he do this? No questions. I am the best on the field. I am the best in show. I am the best professional wrestler that walks in and out of that ECWA ring. There is no one that's doing it better than me right now, today, at this time, in real time. That's why I'm the champion. That's why people know that I'm the champion. That's why people won't say it to my face. The crowd will boo. But when I make eye contact, they don't want to make eye contact because they're afraid, because they know the truth. I am the truth, and you're going to follow me into the future. And it's a beautiful future if you let me present it to you. The most beautiful paradise you could ever have. I'm building it for you. So you sit back and relax while Darius Carter does his work.
Is it part of the message here? Because obviously, Darius, there haven't been a lot of shows, so there haven't been a lot of ECWA title defenses. Is this part of an effort to like kind of silence the critics on that end?
Absolutely. I mean, that's the whole point. ECWA is not running every single month. We're talking about the longest running promotion in professional wrestling. This is decades upon decades upon decades, stacked of history. The stars that you see today started in ECWA, started in this tournament. AJ Styles, Bryan Danielson, they all competed in this tournament. Adam Cole, Alex Shelley. These are all people, whether they've won or whether they stepped foot, because just being an entrant in the tournament is a career accolade. Just to be selected as one of the top 8 professional wrestlers to go in and have a chance to win that trophy and that medal, that alone is an accolade. It's like being a nominee. It's like the best actor nominee. It's the same difference. Just being a nominee is an accolade, but that wasn't enough for me. I needed to win, and I did. And I did that in my ECWA debut. I have never wrestled or stepped foot in an ECWA ring before that day, before March 26th, 2022. I had never stepped in a professional wrestling ring with ECWA's letters on it until that day. And I went in. I beat Ricky Morton in the first round. Yes, that Ricky Morton. Ricky Morton. Beat him. Back of the line. Rock and roll. The expressway to the back of the line. Travis Huckabee. Royal Sweep. Out of here. Haven't seen him since. Erica Lee. Royal Sweep. Ever since then, she has been trying to reach the levels that she reached that day because Darius Carter has the Midas touch. That woman turned to gold, baby. And she's been chasing that ever since. She won the Women's Super 8, won the ECWA Championship, and she still didn't reach the heights that she reached that night, March 26th, 2022, when I hit her with the Royal Sweep and beat her in what you called, and what ECWA called, the greatest Super 8 tournament final match in history. I didn't say it. It's printed. It's still out there. You can Google it. That's what I did.
Now you're coming into this tournament with a whole lot of confidence. Do you ever worry about that being an issue? Too confident?
How can you be too confident? Here's the word. The word confident. Here's the thing. And you said confident, and I like that. Because sometimes people will get cute and they'll say arrogance or cockiness, which are different words with different meanings. Why would I not have full, utter, and complete confidence in myself? Why would the nature boy Ric Flair not have complete and utter confidence in himself when he was in his prime, when he was doing, listen, Ric Flair at any point, but Ric Flair at his time, the 80s, the 70s, what were you going to tell that man? What were you going to tell Nick Bockwinkel in the AWA? World champion, the most recognizable world champion in my eyes. Distinguished, professional, lucid, real. I am a throwback to those days, but I am very, very modern, and I am very sharp, so don't think you're going to pull one over on me. I'm confident because I have a resume that supports what I've done in my life, that supports what I have achieved or struck out to do, that I have planned to achieve in my life. I have a resume of things that I have done, of accomplishments that I have saw through, of checks that I have written on my paper. I'm not sitting here talking about things. I'm not sitting here dreaming about things or hoping for things. I go out there, I make things happen. And that's what this ECWA Super 8 tournament is about. I want the tournament to be talked about just as much as me. When I won it in 2022, it was a massive deal. When Joey Ace won it in 2023, I do not think it was a massive deal. I'll say it. Joey won it. That's nice. It's time for me to come back. And I said this. Did I not say this when I came back? Staying true to the story. I said that Joey Ace let us down with that Super 8. He was an okay winner. But Super 8 tournament winners should not be okay. They should be excellent. They should be supreme. And shame on me for not coming back in 2023 and doing it in back-to-back years. I had prior engagements. Unfortunately, I don't even want to talk about it. I'm not a man of regrets. But Joey Ace winning that Super 8, I got to come back and bring us back up. And I feel bad for 2025. I feel bad for us to follow that. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? That's what this is about. Being remembered forever. 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years down the road. You can Wikipedia or whatever Wikipedia evolves into in that span of time. And you will see Darius Carter for all time. That is a legacy. How do you reach immortality? They asked that question. How do you live forever? By printing your name in the history book as many times as you can. Once is fine for some people. I need to be all over that baby. That's what this is about.
Do you ever just want to pinch yourself with the success that you've had? You talk about all the great names that have competed in ECWA Super 8 in the past, Darius, and a lot of them weren't household names when they came through and competed in the tournament. Do you ever want to just, how much does it affect you to see yourself kind of following that progression that some of these legends have?
That's the entire purpose, the entire allure of the tournament is not just the victory itself, but it's everywhere that it takes it. Winning the Super 8 then gets me into the PWI. I mean, I was already in the PWI for ranking in the PWI 500, but we're talking about a full spread article that you can go to a Walmart, a Borders, or a Barnes & Noble. My age showing with Borders. You can go pick up this paper. You can go pick up this magazine, and my face is on it. My mother can go pick up, my aunts, my uncles, my family can go pick up this paper, pick up this magazine, and open it up and see me in there with a full spread. Super Cards 2022. Interviews, such as the ones that we've done, that we conducted. All things that have contributed to my rise, and I put it back into my promotions. I put it back into the title. I get, people will say, oh man, selfish. You're a selfish man. A lot of people are selfish. I am not a selfish person. I put it back into my promotion, into the championship, so that people look at this ECWA title and they say, man, I gotta have that. They have the Super 8, but you know what? I want that title too. That's what this is about. Because let's put it on the table. A lot of people will say that the greatest thing that ECWA has to offer is the Super 8 tournament. I am here to remind people that the champion of ECWA is also the most upstanding, is meant to be the most upstanding, bona fide reflection of professional wrestling that there is today. When you look at me, you can see flashes of Flair, of Bockwinkel. And I'm not saying this to put myself on their level. I'm talking about people that I was inspired by, people that I saw and watched in awe growing up, and people that I channel through my performance, through my work, that people will tell me. Billy Robinson, William Regal. Here to show people that tradition is more than just a word. People take that word and they just make it a word. They just say it. They throw it out there. But what is tradition? Tradition is wiping your feet before you enter the ring. Tradition is having ring awareness. Tradition is knowing and loving that ring. That ring is your ally in combat. Tradition is having your hand raised in victory and going to the pay window. And yes, you make more than the person that you beat. Tradition is having your heavyweight champion enter last, having them wrestle last, having contenders earn championship matches. There is only one man who's challenged me so far, and that is Mr. Ooh La La. And let's be honest, on paper, Mr. Ooh La La is the most successful person on that roster. If we're talking on paper, if we're talking about all the things he's done all over PWI, to the point where he might as well have been part of it. Decades long, almost 40 years. I said it to his face. It's not that I didn't respect him, it's that his time had come and passed. And what happened? What happened when we wrestled? Can you tell me what happened? I want to hear what happened. Tell me. What happened? Because you conducted that interview, Brady, when him and I sat across from each other at that table, and I told him what I was going to do to him in my first defense of the ECWA Heavyweight Championship. Brady Hicks, please inform the audience what happened.
No, I mean, you told him that you were going to destroy him, that he's a great wrestler, that you enjoyed him. He made you laugh. I remember that.
Yes.
But when the bell rang, you would go in there and you would dismantle him. And it's exactly what happened.
Entertained me. Listen, there was a time where Mr. Ooh La La was a soldier and would go out there and engage in combat with some of the best. He's tied to legends in the same way George South was tied to legends, and I beat him too. That's why I say on paper, top to bottom, front to back, Mr. Ooh La La's career is nothing to sneeze at. It is one of the most impressive pieces that you'll see. But again,
just curious. I'm sorry.
Please. No, I was just saying, he's a man out of time. He's a man out of place. But please go on ahead.
I'm just curious. Now, I know for a fact that Mr. Ooh La La was a bucket list kind of guy for a lot of people in their careers to get the chance to step in the ring with him. Was it like that for you, or was it just another night at the office?
Listen. Stepping in the ring with someone of that experience, same way I wrestled Ricky Morton in the first round, by the way, of the Super 8. How daunting is that, to have to wrestle a bona fide Hall of Famer in every hall that is worthy? Ricky Morton is there. Had to face him. Mr. Ooh La La, that's somebody else. Of course I want to wrestle veterans of the past. Of course I want to wrestle the likes of him, the likes of George South, the likes of Ricky Morton. Because you learn something every time. It's a different experience. I love to compete against bona fide legends of the craft. But again, he was a man at a time. A man from the 80s and the 2000s, but aged. Age hit him. Sure. And that's okay. We know that. It's fine. He knows that too. He knows that too. He did the best he could. And that's all I wanted. Brady, all I wanted was him to give me the best. I'd slap him and I'd kick him until he gave me all that he had. I knew it wasn't enough. I knew it wasn't sufficient. I knew it might not even scratch me, but I wanted to see that man dig deep and try. And dare I say, I don't think I've seen him try like that at any other time in recent ECWA history. Even when he was ECWA champion. The night that he had with me, and he'll probably tell you himself. If you interviewed him right after me, he'll probably tell you himself.
I would think so. I would absolutely think so. I remember champions of the past that defended against him. They would argue about who had the better match with him. And I think there's no doubt in anyone's mind that your match from December or November, that was the tops. That was as good as Mr. Willala has ever been. And I think you brought that out in him. And of course, in the end, you put him out of his misery, right?
That's what a champion's meant to do.
Sure.
A champion should elevate every person that he steps in the ring with. Why? Because why should you be in the ring with the champ, with the top champ, with the premier wrestler of that promotion if you're not good, if you're not ready? Everyone has to get put to task when that bell rings. It's no question. Everyone must get put through the ringer when you step in the ring with the heavyweight champion. Why? Because I need you to know that I'm not the other champions on the roster. I need you to know that I'm not like anyone else in ECWA. I have to inflict this pain upon you. I have to make you look within yourself. I always say that I introduce people to themselves. That's what I do. I bring the truth to you. You're going to learn what kind of wrestler you are. You're going to learn if you really want this or not. You're going to learn how badly you care about professional wrestling. You might quit. You might cry. You might sit in your car for an hour before you drive home. I may emotionally damage you even worse than I physically damage you. I can leave you physically like a slinky. Mentally, melted. We're talking melted, coming out the ears, leaking out the nose. I can do that to you because that's the type of game that I play, because that's how real this is to me. That's how real this championship is to me. If I can't beat those other wrestlers in the Super 8 tournament, if I can't defend my turf, I'm not the person debuting anymore. I'm not the Darius Carter wrestling for the first time in ECWA anymore. I'm the man that came and flipped the whole promotion on its head twice. First when I won the Super 8, and second when I came back and beat Joey Ace to win this championship. Changed the game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, Darius, we've talked an awful lot about history and legacy and all those very important things. But this year's field for the Super 8, I think it's going to be a real opportunity for some other competitors to step up. And I just want to run through some names with you. I'm curious if there's anybody in particular that you're excited to kind of mix it up with. We're talking about Avery Jacks, Steve Pena, Greg Spitz, Drew Hood, Bobby Buffet, and Travis Blake. Now, they're the ones that have been announced so far. Is there anybody that kind of really jumps out at you as like, you know, this is my goal for tonight. I want to knock this guy off, or I really want to get in the ring with this guy?
What's great about this tournament, it's the same as the tournament that I was in. I felt like the 2022 Super 8 was filled with stacked talent. And I mean talent in terms of bell to bell, can go, can perform. Erica Lee, I have to give that to her. I have to give that to her. The talent. As much as I like throwing her around and smacking her around, talented. Eel O'Neill. So much. I see parts of me in him. I know that I rub off on him. I know that he studies and watches me, and I take that as such a sign of respect. His mind has evolved over the years, and he learns from watching. Eel O'Neill. Ryan Clancy. Fancy Ryan Clancy. Fancy. Very fancy Ryan Clancy. Tried to one-up me in the suit game. Did not do that. Tried to one-up me in the Super 8. Did not do that. But that was a tremendous name in that tournament. I'm talking, again, quality talent here. All right? So if we're talking about our tournament, Avery Jacks, young up-and-comer, so talented, so much raw charisma. I look forward to watching her in front of the crowd. I look forward to watching how much she can get people behind her, because I think that she can be a sleeper hit. And when I say sleeper hit, I mean I hope she makes it out of the first round. That would be nice. I do want to see that woman succeed, because she is talented and she has a great head on her shoulders. She's at the right promotions at the right time, and she's 2 ears open, one mouth closed. I love to see it. Steve Pena. Steve Pena is somebody I've wrestled over a handful of times. I've beaten him almost every time. But he is a technical marvel. That man is really developed into a savage. He's won championships all over New York at this point. He is somebody that I was watching and waiting for him to get that opportunity to break through. And he's had the right matches. He's had the right opponents, the right chances to step up, and he delivered every time. Steve Pena is somebody I hope that I do get, because that is a very unique wrestling match that crowd, they'd melt to watch that technical display. So I do hope that I get Pena more than anybody else, although he's, from what it looks like, the most difficult to defeat of all of them. I would want to take that challenge on. Maybe I want that early so that I can have it easier in the finals. I mean, I'm not the one who controls how it goes down. It's like picking a number in the Royal Rumble. So who knows how this is going to go? But I look forward to that if I get him. If I don't get Pena, I would expect him to make it to the final. So we'll see about that. Travis Blake has been an ECWA mainstay. I mean, it's good to see that. I want to see what he delivers, because there's a lot of silent hype, as I like to say, behind him. Let's see where that goes in this tournament. Drew Hood, another person that's been looking for an opportunity. He reaches out to me. He talks about advice and things of that nature. Very respectful, very professional. Somebody, again, that can go far in this tournament. Jared Diaz, it's a shame that he's not in it, because this tournament could have really done some great things for him, and I would like to see his style in the tournament. But when you write a few times over the same place on your calendar, you got to be careful. So we'll see. Maybe he'll have that opportunity. Maybe he can come back and get swept and beat by the All-Father. We'll see. Tremendous talent. Bobby Buffet. I mean, come on. This is a hard-hitting, agile, swift, dangerous. I talk about Steve Pena, but Bobby Buffet, listen, him and Pena go at it. That would be nice. So I only have to beat one of them. But those two, I mean, those two are the ones to watch outside of me, second and third place. I would say Avery Jacks with a huge opportunity to step up. I'm watching every single person who enters this tournament. I'm not going in here, I'm going to win. I don't care about the opponents. I know nothing about them. Who cares? I'm going to squash them. No. I'm going to beat them because I acknowledge and respect them, because I know what they are and who they are. I'm going to beat them because I know them better than they know themselves. And I'm going to beat them because I am the ultimate force, because I am the right way. I am the future in present time. A legend in real time, being crafted, molded before you, using ECWA's championship and 2022 Super 8 victory to do so. There is nobody in ECWA's atmosphere that can sniff the air that I'm sniffing. And that's what this tournament is about. Sheer, absolute domination, the likes of which Christopher Daniels himself could not deliver.
Very impressive. And I'm very excited, as if I wasn't already before, Mr. Darius Carter, of course, the ECWA heavyweight champion. Darius, if people have never seen a Super 8, or more specifically, maybe never seen you wrestle, what can they expect?
From me, you can expect a traditional style in modern times. A modern traditionalist, if you will. Somebody who, again, is going to utilize the ring. Somebody is going to exploit his opponent. I like to say it's like dealing with a walking supercomputer. I study, I analyze, I attack at particular points, precision-based, technique overall, technique over power, over all of that, and with deceptive agility. There's a lot of things that I can do that I'm not going to sit here and say I can do, because why would I do that? Strategically unintelligent, socially off-putting. I don't need to do it because I have this championship and because I have the trophy and because I'll have a second trophy and a second medal to wear around my neck. I'm going to be golden, golder than gold, more platinum than platinum. It's going to be a historic occasion that only I could bring. So if you talk about my style, unique, old school, traditional, in modern times, okay? We talk about the Super 8, all the things that you can see. Avery Jax being the fireball that she is, the technique of Steve Pena, and physicality, absolute physicality. We talk about the swift cannonball that is Bobby Buffet. We talk about that interesting, almost wild card. I'm giving him a gimmick here, Travis Blake. We have a literal wild card space that has yet to be filled with Jarrett Diaz being absent. Greg Spitz, who I have not mentioned to this point, but I will mention Gregory. All I'm going to say to him is this, because that's somebody else that on paper has had a successful career. Gregory, look, I like him. I think he's a funny guy. The Marvelous Ones, it's all of it. It keeps the YouTube content coming for the ECWA channel. It's great. He has his place, and I hope that he has his moment, because I know that's why he's in this thing. He's in this thing for a moment. We all know he's not going to win. He's probably not going to make it out of the first round, but he's going to do something to amuse us. So please, Gregory, amuse us in the first round and then be gone. And that's it. That's it. Marvelous departure. Be gone. Excelsior. All right? Back to the champion, because this is a very serious tournament to me. And those wrestlers I mentioned are all very serious. Bobby Buffet, Steve Pena, Avery Jax. But look at where I'm at. And then Darius Carter. When you see my name next to theirs, there is a difference. And I worked for that. I earned that. I was not given that. I was not handed that. Every weekend of every month of every year of my career culminated in this. Culminated in this championship in my arms. And I have a grip unlike any other, and I will not let this thing go. You cannot pry it from my hands, even if they were cold and dead. Forget the old adage, over my cold, dead body. You can't even walk over me. I am him. Accept it.
Well, as we mentioned earlier, certainly confidence. The ECWA Super 8 tournament coming up March 23rd at the Jersey Dugout. That is 712 Genesee Drive in Morganville, New Jersey. Tickets and information, just visit ECWAWrestling.com. But if nothing else, Mr. Darius Carter here is going to give you well more than what you paid for just to attend. So I want to wish you the best of luck, Mr. Carter. I know that you certainly don't need any luck because it's all in the preparation, but good luck anyway.
Thank you kindly, but luck is for losers. Championships are for winners. So I look forward to holding all my gold up on display and then grabbing that microphone and saying something maybe a little more scathing than I did 2 years ago. We will see. But thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
It has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you once again, Mr. Darius Carter. And let me remind you guys once again to be sure to stay tuned to ECWAWrestling.com and all